This is how emotions get you killed in Ozark. Okay, there's really going to be a bunch of spoilers here, don't ruin this for yourself, this is your last warning. Marty and Wendy Bird are excellent negotiators, precisely navigating through life or death situations in Ozark, but there's an eeriness to their performances, an emotional dissonance that's crafted by meticulous design.
More shoreline than the whole coast of California.
Firstly, the important thing to understand is that everyone in Ozark has emotions. In fact, most of the cast are very emotional characters. Marty Bird takes huge risks in order to protect what he loves most in the world, which is his kids.
But then I take me and my family and we go down to the Ozarks, just like I planned. And I just start washing money. Tons of it.
Ruth Langmore rises in the ranks of the criminal world to prove her family's name isn't worthless.
The stacks are half of what they were a month ago.
Jacob and Darlene Snell grow heroin because an electric company disrupted their ancestors' land. I think it's safe to say even the heavy hitters in this world are largely grounded in their feelings. Acting out of emotion and not logic can be a death sentence in the wonderfully fricked up world of Ozark. There's no skimming numbers.
I would have never done any of this if I thought it would hurt you. And I'm...
There's no working with the FBI.
Where the fuck are we going? I don't need to fucking go in there.
Throughout the series, we see again and again that when a character takes action without consulting their brain, it means something bad.
Oh, fuck.
Unless you're a Navarro and you have major cartel power, then you can get away with it. Let's start with Cade Langmore, a character who's got anger issues. After being released from prison, we spend a full season with this sorry excuse of a father, who verbally and physically assaults Ruth and oftentimes overreacts throughout this series. It is one of these signature tantrums that dooms Cade at precisely the wrong moment. FBI agent Roy Petty basically calls him white trash, and Cade does this thing. In this nihilistic southern nightmare, you do business nicely, or there's going to be a big problem. There's a really off-putting trick with the staging of many death scenes on this show. When a major character gets killed off, the perspective usually continues on past their death, following other people in the area. It gives the sensation of an abrupt end to the character's life, an uneasy, sudden conclusion which mimics how we actually die. Darlene is another classic example of an Ozark character who acts emotionally. To her credit, she actually made it pretty far, surviving halfway through the final season despite killing her husband, nabbing a baby, and fatally spiking her own heroin product. You see, Darlene operates on her own specific code. She favors her disgraced family above all, and her poppy feeds are a means to support what matters most to her. She's a traditional person, hating the new casino and out-of-towners, including the Birds.
She's the same woman now as when I married her.
If she so feels like poisoning a bunch of junkies, she can do it. If she so hears someone call her a redneck, she can shoot them. In the confines of her Ozarks, Darlene is able to succeed in taking out her enemies, but the cartel has no jurisdiction, and they only care about business.
We told you from the beginning to stop selling heroin, but you just wouldn't listen.
Well, I am sorry about that. I think maybe if we...
Sorry.
You don't have any leeway for revenge in Ozark either.
Dig in.
Let's say the cartel finds out you killed one of their top lieutenants. Either you let them destroy your entire family, or you make the logical choice and sacrifice your family to save who you can. It might be a cruel choice, but you need to make the most logical outcome. Any resistance against the cartel will end in death.
What the fuck do you want? Tell me what you want.
Helen is a character who mostly has no weaknesses, spending more than a season expertly weaving in and out of conversations that end with torture, death, and smiling stares that definitely aren't very pleasant on the inside. But even she has become enraged, consumed with revenge after Ben revealed her life of crime to her daughter.
Don't bother, the sheriff got me out.
Behind me, Aaron.
You won't know what a piece of shit your mother is, Aaron.
The road of fury only led her to one shocking result.
I hope you had a pleasant journey.
You may be asking yourself, who could possibly win such a rigged game?
You a lawyer?
No.
Wendy Bird is, other than a Peter Pan reference, a soulless monster.
They would have found us.
No, they wouldn't.
We'd be dead by now if you got your way.
You'd say anything to justify what you did.
In perhaps Ozark's most notable arc, Wendy shifts from cheating runaway wife to monstrous political kingpin, and she is the one who drives much of the action in this series.
Right, yeah, and you're just a fucking scary, selfish, power-hungry fucking bitch. Great. Get the fuck out. Do it.
Wendy's tight-lipped, lawyer-like tactics manipulating people in conversation allow her to take huge risks for gigantic rewards.
We can step outside the vehicle, but you know, search and seizure laws now say we're not required to answer any of your questions, and if you want to search this vehicle, you're going to have to get a warrant.
It seems as though Wendy and Marty are always acutely aware of themselves. Every word of theirs is shielded, carefully chosen.
Hey, talk to her like that one more time. I make a single phone call and have you killed.
When Marty is weary following his killing of Mason in Season 2, Wendy is able to detect a warning from Helen and stops the family's escape plan in favor of survival through the casino. Though the move kinda totally pisses off Marty, and the kids end up trapped for another 3 years, it does ultimately protect them from getting their eyes cut out, which is never a fun weekend activity for the family. Wendy is also able to assess who emotional threats are and eliminate them. When Cade Langmore puts the laundering operation at risk due to his reckless, sporadic actions, Wendy is the one who is quick to act. It should be noted that Marty had a huge learning curve when it came to becoming a sociopath. He did not instantly get down with his wife murdering people.
For our family.
And I stayed with you.
Oh, wow.
He had to let this dissonance grow. To get his children out of the Ozark alive, Marty had to conform with his wife, to not resist the hard choices, but to act out of reason. We have always known Marty to be quick on his feet, and a very intelligent criminal, but rarely do we see him act cruel. He instead keeps a distance from every character on the show. Marty's way of keeping himself calm in a constant state of deadly situations is by suppressing his own feelings.
Wait. This is a dream.
Ben Davis is easily the most emotionally unstable character in Ozark as a result of his bipolar disorder. When he's not medicated, there's no control over his feelings, his potential to explode.
That's kind of always been a problem of mine. I'll go deep into another person's shit. Or I spin out on a thing that hasn't happened yet. It might not happen.
Like a grenade in a bumpy car, anything could set him off. So when Helen holds the kids hostage, the ultimatum is not easy for Wendy. It's heartbreaking. But Wendy Bird makes the tough choices. So does Ruth when she kills her uncles. And Marty when he kills Mason.
Baby, just breathe.
What are we doing? What am I doing?
So, to recap, what happens when you become a rogue FBI agent to bust a drug lord? You get unhappy with your desk job. What happens when you angrily go after your cousin's killer with a gun? You get shot. What happens when you do the right thing, give up your dreams to catch the bad guys? You get shot by a kid.
I hate him so much.
What happens when you kill your brother, threaten your dad, and let a family friend die? You get away with it.
What do you do, Morton, when the bride who took your breath away becomes the wife? It makes you hold your breath in terror.
Wendy has no qualms about flagging her son's illegal offshore accounts. She will use mental institutions to manipulate her children. She'll hesitate on 911 calls, and she'll cross each and every line in order to win her game. While Marty explicitly wants nothing more than to protect his children, Wendy has a clear distinction. She wants to have it all, to build a political empire strong enough to control the Midwest. No relationship must be sacred. You must be willing to cross anyone to survive in Ozark.
You know, I got like 500 in a box of the cars. Have a great day.
You too. I hate him so much.
Yep.